Hello, and welcome to the 7th Uppsala Young Champions round 2. And I'm delighted to be joined by Grandmaster Pontus Carlsson today. Pontus, welcome.
Thanks a lot.
Let me just, every day when I go live, somehow my camera, your camera rather, is messed up. Let me try and fix that. Anyway, maybe I don't need to bother so much with fixing the camera because we have just, well, you have just joined, but we're going to immediately be joined by a guest. We're going to have our first interview of the day. But Pontus, first of all, tell us, how are you? Where in the world are you? And what have you been up to?
Well, right now I'm in Czech Republic. So I'm in Prague. And what I've been up to? Well, mostly working. Chess-wise, it has not been so much because I don't play that much usually, but this year has been really not much at all. I played one game this year in January, and then I was supposed to play the Czech League, but it was cancelled.
So now instead of playing, you're gonna be joining me to look at some chess instead.
Yeah, it's safer. Yeah,
a lot
and
safer.
It costs less rating points as well. So
that is very true. Pontus, shall we call up Isaac Stormer? Are you familiar with the player?
Yeah. I know Isaac.
Okay, perfect. Then he will join us now. He's already won his game. Pontus and I were just taking a quick look off stream, but we will call him up now. I will have to fix this is our first interview, but hopefully everything will work out fine. So let's try and add him to the call. So let's see. Hi, Isaac.
Hello.
Nice to see you.
My game?
I was saying congratulations, a nice game.
Yeah, thank you.
So let me I will try, okay, we'll leave it like this. I will have to fix the camera later. Let me see.
Okay.
Oh, actually, that's perfect. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the tournament, not the game today. So how does it feel to be playing over the board? The situation is difficult, but 40 players have found their way to Sweden. So how are things going there?
Feels nice. I played the Czech Open earlier, 2 months ago, or one maybe. So, what?
So you have still been keeping busy during the pandemic?
Yeah, and also I played in June, so I have played a bit actually.
You have played more than Pontus and me. Pontus was just saying he hasn't played since January.
Yeah, and yeah, I guess many players haven't played that much, so I think that can be an advantage maybe.
Absolutely. Today things went very well for you. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so we're looking at your position after move 18 when you took on d5. And okay, I don't know how to turn off the engine, but Pontus and I were just talking about it before you joined us. And here your opponent played bishop b4. Did you understand immediately that this was a mistake, or what were you thinking?
I assumed it was risky, and I didn't really look at it. And I think I have more than one good option here. I expected e5, and after rechecking.
This is what Pontus was suggesting to me. e5, yes. And we were looking at this line, and Pontus fought with the opposite color bishops.
Yeah, it looks really hard to make progress.
Something like this, yeah?
Yeah, because the bishop keeps control of e7 and c7. And looks very hard to do anything.
Yeah, and so after bishop b4, you took on e6. What are the other sort of options that you thought about?
I consider bishop takes g7.
Oh.
And then bishop takes e1, I thought. Bishop takes f8, because queen g7, queen g5, which I would like to play. Then bishop takes f2. King takes f2, and then queen c2, queen g6.
Very nice. And if you go to king h1?
Then bishop e3, I thought.
Nice.
But I don't know if it's correct.
Yeah.
Anyways, what I did looked very strong. Or that's what I thought.
Well, I have the engine turned off, but since your game is over, it gives me the evaluation from after the game, and it seems like it agrees with you.
Yeah, it's easy to say that it looks good when the engine says plus 3.5.
That's true. So he took on e1.
Yeah.
And he took on d7. And already things are just very difficult for him, yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
What to do?
I don't know.
I mean, here's just two pieces and...
Yeah. Bishop a5, which maybe looks most natural, or I don't know if it does, but...
here, yeah?
Then I wanted to take on g7 again.
You mean here in this position?
Yeah, probably I have many good options because my pawn is... I wanted to take king takes and queen g5. Queen f6. I don't really know how the variation would go. Yeah.
Oh, can you go?
I don't know where I go, but I think he would answer with a rook fd8.
In which position?
After
rook somewhere.
Yeah, rook d4. And I don't know really. Or should be good at you.
Pontus, do you see a mate? Do you
Yeah,
see?
Yeah, I mean, you have many moves. Queen e7 is really strong.
Yeah, I saw it during the game, and queen is yeah.
It's very, very strong. Wins directly. But also there was, I think that in f3 must be a new move. You played in the start as well. I think it was a new move.
Maybe slightly unnatural. I wasn't.
Yeah, because I think they have tried a bunch. Queen d3, I remember, was like some theoretical move, and also someone. I've seen Queen e2. I think in this position as well. This has been played since 2006. This variation.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, the Queen f3 I think is new.
Yeah, but doesn't really make much sense because he wants to play bishop c6, and I allow him to do it with tempo. So.
Yeah, but I think you have to go Queen f4 here, because I think Queen e3 is a mistake. Because there is, I think here you can, if you go Queen e3 like you did you consider knight g4?
Yes, I did. What's the idea after?
You will play Queen f4, no? Or because otherwise there comes like moves like Bishop c5 or e5.
Yeah, Queen f4 was my idea.
And what about the h5 here?
I didn't consider it, but
I think you are busted now, because Bishop d5 is coming, and Bishop d6, and I think it's totally lost, to be honest.
So bad.
I see a nice variation. G3, Bishop d6, Queen d2, Queen
No,
a8.
Bishop g5, Bishop g5. On
Okay,
this one.
but Bishop d6, Queen h4 is nice.
Yeah, that one is nice.
but maybe not good.
But I think Bishop g5 is more effective. We like points here.
What were you talking
So
about?
yes, grinding the point, Bishop d5.
What were you talking about? Bishop d6 here?
Or Bishop g5 if you want to win directly. So it's
of course.
that's the problem, that you can't move. So I think this is very bad. If I'm not, I might miss something, but it looks not nice.
I considered queen f4 instead of queen e3 as well, but I didn't.
I think it's big difference.
Yes.
So I think the queen f3 is good, probably interesting, but queen f4, no?
Yeah, but I thought knight h5 maybe. Queen f4, knight.
You mean a repetition or something? Okay, I get it.
Or
yeah,
twice,
queen
yeah.
d4, knight f6 again, back again, and I get you, but
and
probably.
also there is bishop g5 maybe if I go queen d2 or something.
No, I was thinking queen g4. You have to probably play queen g4, no? I don't think.
Yeah, that's.
Then I was thinking about this repetition with queen f4 again.
Yeah, okay, but that's not what I wanted.
Yeah.
No, of course not what you want, but I honestly think queen e3 is dangerous.
Yeah, I missed h5, so.
I think that probably queen f3 is not the best move in the position.
No.
Because black anyway, like you said, wants to play.
Pontus, we are here to build the people up, not to bring them down. We were just looking at the nice finish.
This is how we treat our junior players.
Yeah, I think I can handle it.
It's like they have to learn the hard way.
So let's just look at the end of the game, shall we?
Yeah, but Isak is a very promising player, so he's gonna become good. So, and he's already quite good. So he actually qualified for the Swedish championships, but he was very unlucky with the virus, so it was cancelled, of course.
Does the invitation still stand for next year?
I think so.
We hope so, but no one knows actually yet. But we hope so.
Let's just see the end of the game. We already saw it till here, and after that it was just... You finished things off very quickly here. Basically, it's just so hard to defend. Yeah, nothing to do. But this is a nice little finish. I like it.
Very nice. You should also show the variation after the queen f7.
And he let you checkmate, yeah?
Queen f7?
Yeah, if he doesn't, when he played f4, you should show that variation as well. It's very nice.
What do you want to show?
The variation, if black plays queen f7 here, because white has a very nice move.
Bishop c4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like very. I think the game was very beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
And it's always nice, I guess, in the end when they let you checkmate, yeah?
Yeah, very nice when he allowed it. So.
Absolutely. By the way, Niels Grandelius is in the chat with us. And he's saying, because I was saying, Pontus, that you're being tough on Isaac. And Niels is saying the Swedish chess school is very, very tough and that he has also been through it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And now I think Niels is probably leading it, so he can be very tough on the rest of us. So that's why we don't play with him anymore.
Absolutely.
He has to commentaries.
Isaac, can I just ask you one final question? I know you have another game this afternoon, then we will let you go. But it's already your 4th time playing in the Uppsala Young Champions. So is it your last year, under 20, or how old are you?
I'll play next year, I think.
Next year. How is it to be there for the 4th time?
Well, it's nice. It's a new location, and so a lot of things happened lately. I mean, they changed the location and so, but we live in a nice hotel, and yeah, it's good.
That's good.
And how is it with the corona the restrictions and so on? How because you have played a bunch of tournaments now, and what's the differences like? When you have to go to a chess tournament now and there is some restrictions, there might even be face masks.
In one tournament I played, I had to wear a mask, but the one difference is that there aren't handshakes, but that doesn't really make a big difference.
So there's no face mask, there is also no plastic cover on the board, so it's just there's a lot of distance. So what are the
distance and disinfection.
Great.
And do you analyze the games after, or how do you do it?
If we analyze?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have analyzed both my games, so yes.
Yeah. So it's basically it's quite normal tournaments.
Yeah, but a lot of different, a lot of distance and disinfection.
Yeah, disinfection and distance. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. That's basically the Swedish model when it comes to the virus as well, because the whole society is open and there's not so. I mean, shops and stores and everything has been open.
Yeah.
So it's a bit the Swedish style, you can say. So it's good.
But it was like that in Czech Republic as well.
Well, it's not anymore. I can tell you.
Okay.
And the health minister, they want him to resign now. So and it's 15,000 cases per day. So it has changed a bit since last month when you were here.
Isaac, I know you have another game this afternoon. We will let you go and we will take a look finally at some of the other games. But thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on a nice game, a nice finish especially, and good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Good luck, Isaac.
Thank you. And maybe if you can, you or Albin, if you can leave the call. I don't know if you have the option to do that because I don't know if I can. Oh no, I can remove. Okay, thank you. Pontus.
Yeah, it was
Here we are.
Nice start.
Absolutely. What a way to finish his game. And now let's quickly go to our top boards because we are already almost 2.5 hours into the game. And the time control, there is... Oh, maybe the first... This would be a big pity. It looks like the first board might be stuck, yeah? Looks like we're not getting moves there.
It's stuck. We're not getting moves. Uh-huh.
Let me quickly update the results, see if there's anything. So we saw Isaac won his game. Okay, but the rest should still be going on. So let's go to board 2. Ivana against Milton Panzer. So we're on move 24 here, still half an hour on the clock for white, 37 minutes for black, and what is going on?
Well, I think that black has an advantage here. To me, it looks like it looks like a quite nice position to grind down here with black. Mm-hmm. You have in Queen's Gambit, it's very important to get one of the knights to d6. Mm-hmm. Because then basically it covers up the whole queen side. Mm-hmm. And we can see here already that white has a weakness. Where is the weakness, Fiona?
E3.
Yeah, there.
I didn't realize this was going to be like a lesson for me.
No.
I should have come better prepared.
I have strict orders from the organizers to ask many questions. And many difficult questions. But E3 is clear weakness, and
so the idea is what, to double on the E file? Yeah,
double on the E file, and then I would expect also that we might see well, basically black is gonna put maybe even if it's possible. I think the treble is a bit difficult because you also have knight C5, so that's probably not gonna happen. But definitely double, and then we're gonna see some move like knight c4 is gonna come. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you can even do it as like a sort of temporary sacrifice.
So give up your d pawn, but take this e pawn instead.
Yeah, take the e pawn, and there's also basically you can't take c4 many times either because there's b5, you know. Mm-hmm. So I think that like, is it black to move or is it white to move? I can't really see.
We removed it's a white to move.
It's white to move, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because if it's black to move, it might even be a forced win with because the doubling will come for sure. Yeah. And then you have with the knight on a4, then basically knight c4 was winning, I would say.
So white has just played knight c3.
Yeah, it's probably the only move if you want to avoid that. But black has many tempting options. You can go for like a pawn chain with knight c4, like a knight takes, and then you have like both knight d5 and b5.
But do I have to recapture here, or can I try?
You have to move back probably because you can recapture as well, but then rook takes e3 will always give an advantage. And here you can play both b5 and knight d5 are both quite good. Because you can also play that line and you just go for the pawn majority. You come with b5. You launch up.
Looks very promising for black.
I think black is definitely gonna win this game.
Yeah.
There's
Also, he's the higher rated player, Milton Panzer. Let's just show very quickly the pairings one time for the viewers. Maybe I can make them a bit.
I think Milton had a quite bad weekend last week because they played. I might be wrong, but I think that because they played in the highest league in Sweden, the elite series as we call it, the extra league, Swedish extra liga, and then basically. I think Milton had a bad weekend, if I'm not wrong. I lost some games and so on. I might be wrong, or I might confuse it with some other games I saw. But I think he just didn't have a great season there. That I know.
Surely then he's due a good tournament here.
Yeah.
Or is that not how things work?
Well, you never know. But what I wanted to get to there was that he blundered a bit in some games there, as I saw. So perhaps that's the best chance for white here, that he will blunder something, because the position is good. The black position is very good.
Yeah, I also think looks very promising. So let's move on to board number 3, where Kokoshari is playing against Ludwig Carlsson, your namesake.
Yeah, it's two young, talented players. Well, everyone here. This we can say on every game. It's two young, talented players.
It's a very strong junior tournament.
Yeah, there used to be, actually, in Sweden, there used to be a very famous tournament in Hallsberg. And basically there was a very, very popular one, always around Christmas. It was headed by a great organizer called Arne Nyberg, and he ran that tournament for many years, and it was extremely popular, both among foreign participants and also, I think, every single Swedish Grandmaster that is alive now has played those tournaments, and you will meet a bunch of them when you're doing the commentaries.
Absolutely.
The older generations, Harry and Ferdinand and those guys, and they are. I think they will also talk quite warmly about Arne and his tournaments, because every one of us have played those, and we really enjoy them. And Carl Fredrik is now trying to do the same in Uppsala to build it up. And I think I'm speaking for all of us that we are very supportive of it. So when he asked if we could do some commentaries, it was, of course, we will support that kind of idea to build it up.
Absolutely. I was trying to show the schedule. I failed, but now I'm there just very quickly. So you mentioned there will be some legendary names this afternoon. I will be joined by Harry Schüssler. Tomorrow Niels will be back. Jesper Hall will be here with me, and also Tiger Hiller. So some big names indeed.
Yeah, it's good players.
Yeah.
And it's I think everyone is very supportive of the concept.
And it's especially, I mean, it's so great to get a tournament organized in these times, which is far from easy to, get everything right and to put in all the extra work that it takes to get something organized now. So big shout out to Carl and his team indeed. What?
Yeah, it's very, very difficult nowadays because also the regulations change all the time. So basically, you might have a basic plan that was working great, and then suddenly the government or the health ministry changes some regulation, or it changes in your area, which was the case for Carl Fredrik now.
Yeah, I mean, they literally had to change the tournament venue one day before the start, I think.
Yeah, they had to move it to another place.
Crazy.
And it's not also in Uppsala anymore, in the same place anymore. So it's just not different region, and but it's also shows the organizer skills that Carl Fredrik was able to do it.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
Many
Pontus.
people have given up.
Yeah, I mean, still 40 and still a very strong lineup. What's going on in this game? Black has a rook, a bishop, and a pawn for the queen. How do you evaluate this?
White is clearly better, winning, technical win, I would say. What he needs to do is that he needs to get going on the king side, but he will probably wait a bit, and then he's gonna launch the king side pawns for the final, probably e4, h4,
The
g4.
final assault.
Yeah, get up the king a little bit, and then come with the g5 and try to get in the g6 break. Basically, the king side pawns they're gonna come.
And also, black is a bit stuck, yeah?
Black is totally stuck. So
You
sometimes
cannot
here,
move this rook. You can only
No,
move.
he just has to wait and try to be prepared for the king side pawns when they come.
It's a depressing position for black.
Yeah, it's quite a depressing position. Yes, I agree, and I don't think that black can hold this. It's just a matter of time, I would say.
So let's move on. So what we saw so far on board 2, we thought that Milton is in great shape. Here we think that Khan is in great shape. So let's go to board 4. Ivana Stefansson from Iceland is playing against Yasim Nemets. I guess that's a Czech.
Could be Czech or Slovak. I don't know. That sounds Czech.
Yes,
I would expect either Czech or Slovak.
He is he's Czech.
A Czech, yeah.
So what is this? Let me quickly count the material. Material is equal.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's to me it looks like white is clearly better, but we have to see. So there is no tactics or something like this because it's also a little bit tricky. But I suppose it's white's turn.
It's white's turn, yeah. Rook c3 was the last move.
Yeah. To me, move like bishop b5 makes a lot of sense. Yes, the question is what he needs to figure out is if he's going that route or if he's going the.
So what will you do if, let's say, I take?
Bishop takes.
Bishop takes, and if I try
you
to
take it back.
plant a knight here.
Yeah, this is interesting. You probably go. I was thinking bishop f4. Yeah, I will probably do that. Bishop f4, and then I'm gonna do h4. Probably. Let me see, because there's also option of going for b7 with rook a1, knight e6, bishop e5. I can also stack a pawn there when play bishop e5 and play this position. There's bishop d7 there. Go back. We missed one move.
Oh, yeah.
So knight e6 is not playable. So I should definitely play.
So you're saying knight e6 is not playable because of bishop d7.
Yeah. This is lost. So you have to probably go knight c3 or something like this. But I was thinking, yes, use the bishops here, like bishop d3.
Looks promising. Yeah.
Looks very nice for I guess clear advantage. You have a weak pawn on b7, and I would be very happy in this position.
Yeah, so black is thinking, white is still thinking after rook c3, but you think that...
Yeah, I think they're thinking about if they should play like bishop b1, bishop a2, and go for that. or bishop b5, and yeah, that's you can definitely think about. I'm not 100% sure, but to me both looks extremely
Both look
good.
good, yeah.
So this is the typical move where you can waste way too much time. Yes.
Yeah, he will, but he's also 20 minutes up on the clock, so he has
Yeah, he
he
the
has
time.
plenty of
Yeah.
time.
I think white will win this. Bishop b1, bishop a2 maybe is even stronger.
Yeah.
Looks very promising.
We will come back. Let's move on to board number 5. Richard
Oh.
Stallmach against Jakub Kusza.
This was very interesting position.
Let's go back a few moves and try and understand how did we get here. So we had opposite sides castling.
Yeah, well, this must be some like Queen's Gambit or something like this, no?
Let's quickly go back.
Yeah, I imagine that.
People these days love this, like G4, H4, G5 with either color, and we're getting a lot of exciting games as a result. So black castled right into this, and white castled the other side. What is this move? Rook H2.
Yeah, he's out of options probably here. It's quite funny. He has to play or something like that.
That's so crazy.
Because you can't really protect.
You can't defend, yeah?
Yeah, and I think that pawn is quite crucial actually. So
yeah, so Rook H2 was played. So giving up an exchange in an interesting way, but okay, not giving up an exchange, as you say. Maybe it was forced.
Yeah.
There was not so many options. And then okay.
I'm not sure about this move because here, of course, that's tempting. Go back, because many times in these positions, you even if it looks totally anti-positional, sometimes you do c5 in the structures.
I was wondering,
And I'm not sure it's even possible here because he gets the pieces to the right square, so it might be an awful move. It's probably an awful move. So skip that one.
But it's still tempting, no, to open the king.
Well, sometimes you do that in this kind of positions, but it has to have the right timing here. It's very, very clear that it needs to be the right timing, because if you do it in the wrong timing, that's just going to lead to that white will get a knight on f4 and a knight on d4, and then that will be ideal position for. But he played for knight c4 instead, because black's problem in this position is where is he going to break through?
So let's see, play king b1, tucking the king away. Also, Niels is giving out to me in the chat, I shall not be bullied. With Pontus asking me a lot of questions, Niels questioning my statements. So I will just not... Niels is because I was saying, that the people these days are playing this G4, H4, and he said that it was also discussed heavily between Botvinnik and Petrosian in the early 60s. So.
Yeah, you should block him.
I should block him from the chat. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah, these bullies in chat should be blocked.
And Ventusur is saying, Venusur is informing us that Yasim Nemeth and Karol Brochka actually defeated Nigel Short in a simul in Prague a few days ago. So, but that's very interesting. I mean, of course, simuls, but still, to get these scalps is very nice. Yeah,
that's well done. I mean, even if it's a simul, it's still a strong player.
I should remember these names. So Nemeth, we looked at his game, just the previous one, and Karol Brochka, he's on board 7, so we will see his game soon.
Yeah, and Nigel used to be he used to be a world championship contender.
Of course, yeah.
So it's even if it's a simul game, it's not. It's still a serious achievement.
Absolutely. So one knight got to f4. Already, I guess, a small achievement.
Yeah, and the black's problem is basically it's not so easy to get through.
But he's trying. So he gave
up
the pawn.
Maybe he was trying a bit too hard there.
Yeah. So he gave up both pawns. Interesting.
Yeah, he gives up both pawns and he wins the queen. But still, it's
What is this mess?
White has fantastic compensation here with the knight, and I think now it's really serious. What about? You have Rook D8. Okay, yeah.
What?
Yeah. No, I was thinking that White could go Knight D7, but there's
At which point? After Queen H5? Oh, wait.
no already. But I realized it's not a very good idea.
What are you talking about? I don't know which line. Which?
No. When the bishop was on C4,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like after Queen H2, because here you have to calculate properly, yeah. And it looks like Knight D7, Knight D5 is serious ID.
Mm-hmm.
But you have, I think that you can just play Rook A D8 and then take on E5 when the knight comes.
A D8 and then.
Yeah, and let's take here,
Okay.
for example. I think that should be, looks effective to me.
So what's here? What's going on?
No,
You want to take? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and then it checkmate.
Yeah.
Let's
just show it for our viewers. So this is not possible because that would be the end of the game.
Yeah, that would be quite nice finish.
Sad. So okay. And
Yeah, and then you just take on H5, and it looks to me it's doomed.
or you can still take on.
Yeah, you can take that pawn as well. I was thinking to take that one, and then I want to go and harass
The rook.
the rook and the bishop,
Yeah.
because I don't think you have any good move here, and then I can continue. By the way, queen takes e5 is probably also quite effective and good.
Queen.
But black is just
Everything
winning.
looks good. Yeah. So let's go back to the game. So instead, he took on B3.
Yeah,
Took on H5 and Rook G1, and this is the position on the board now.
yeah.
So what?
Very fun.
Let me
Should be.
count the material. I'm so confused about what's going on here. So from
Well,
the
black is winning, but it's still some kind of practical tries, here and there.
So black is up basically 4 points. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I only
black is-
have like 1 pawn for a rook or something.
It's almost a rook up, more or less. You can. So it's.
Can we try and trap this queen somehow? No, I guess not. No, there's no way.
Black has to be careful so he doesn't allow any tricks down there close to the king. And there is a bunch of them actually.
There is what?
A bunch of tricks you have like getting the knights to f7 and to d7 and it's not.
How can we try and get the knight there? Okay, anyway, it's black to move, but
Yeah, you have
just
the
knight
same
d5.
knight d7, knight d5, that kind of ideas, and it's there's also knight d7, knight f6 sometimes, that can be doing something depending on the configurations. There is
Yeah, absolutely.
there is some ideas,
Some
but
tricks,
of
yeah.
course black is winning. Black is definitely winning. The only thing is that he needs to watch out for the tricks.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll come back to this one. Let's move on to the next game. Board 6, Siem van Del from the Netherlands. He's playing against Joachim Nilsson.
Yeah.
And what is this? What is this? This is one of a more calm positions out of everything that we have seen.
Yeah.
But what is this rook doing on a3 and its queen on a1? He wants to break, I guess, with...
Well, he wants to do a5 at some point. Question what I'm thinking about is I suppose black should be okay. Is this the movie played or is it
knight d3 was just played.
knight d3 was played? Okay. Well, the rook is going where? Rook d1. What about rook d1? What's going on?
d1.
Yeah, I what am I missing here? I just didn't understand this knight d3 at all. Is he trying to go back to c5? Well,
I mean, he
why?
spent 5 minutes on knight d3.
Because if you go knight d5, okay, you can go knight d5, but then you just take on e5. I just don't understand Why does it? The rook takes. You have to take with the rook, otherwise rook takes d5,
Oh, yeah.
and then rook d4. I was thinking something like this. I mean, oh, sorry. Not.
I can
not
take. Can I take here? Oh,
Yeah, you can do that. I will take on d5 probably. If you do that.
you will take on d5 and what?
Yeah, this was my idea.
There's too much to calculate. I'm lost.
But I'm not sure actually, because you have queen e7, and then you can take back with the queen on e3. I don't know if there is something there after, because the rook is really stupid on a3 and bishop f3. I was thinking, is there something?
Can
Or
I
is it-
try and exchange queens, or will you?
But now it's draw, no? You take
I
on
just
take on 2 and check and queen e4.
Yeah.
So probably some other queen move, queen f1 or something.
And then take with the king. Eh?
Yeah, it should be okay for white. I think it's just nothing.
But I think we went down a long line, which is probably far from first. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. He doesn't have to take, of course, on e3. There's other moves in this position. Bishop h3, bishop, maybe f5 can be possible as well. But bishop h3, bishop h3 makes more sense. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe you can. I think black is doing fine here. The just general impression I get, they should be okay for black. Maybe queen d1 is the move here. It's trying to queen d1. I was thinking.
Sorry, I was just because I saw we joined in the chat by White Dancing Rockstar, who I think is one of the people who set up the tournament, and he's telling us that, oh my god, Pontus, we skipped the opening, but look at what the first move was. I was wondering, how did that rook get to a3?
Oh,
Look at how he opened the game.
A4.
1 a4.
that's interesting.
Very. I'm familiar. I have some friends who played a3, but a4 I haven't seen it. Because also for the people who don't realize, these players are not, they are not exactly junior patzers. Seam's rating is 2285, so it's not exactly like he's a.
I think if you play a4, it's a strong sign of some symptoms of the coronavirus. it's I think they have to send in the
Maybe
doctor.
have a fever check.
Yeah, he really needs a fever check after that move. But
I
of
mean,
course,
if it was an online game, I would think that it was a mouse slip. But
well, you always have this. I mean, Magnus started and Nacken, and they started with this king e2 stuff and whatever.
yeah. But
and so
it's
on.
very different over the board in a classical game.
And they won the. Yeah, of course. This is a classical game, so it's. But how
How
it
did
works.
his opponent think after a4? Okay, this I spent 1 minute.
Yeah, but the thing is that you probably after a4 you want to find a position where a4 doesn't make
Makes
sense.
yeah.
And I would expect that it would be very good to go for some kind of queen's gambit. When white has voluntarily played a4.
So you would play like something like
or some Nimsuinian or whatever. Just something where the b4 square is serious.
How would you feel if in a classical game your opponent played one a4 against you? Would you feel like it's a sign of disrespect, or would you find it funny, or you would not care? How would you feel?
Well, it's I would mostly be happy because it's a very bad move. So, but of course, if it depends also a bit on the opponent. If it's Magnus, you still see. Okay, that's a very bad first move, so it's better chances than this. I will probably never have. So you will still be happy, but you'll realize that okay, there's gonna come some other problems later. But I mean, in general, of course, very happy because it cannot be good. You have to take the center and play a bit more.
Yeah, I always wonder what makes the people play a4. Is it kind of were they struggling to find something, or just take the opponents out of any? Just try and say, okay, I just want to play a game. I will accept not getting anything out of the opening.
Yeah, but it's something mental as well, you know, that people are just like, okay, I can play this, and what can you do about it, you know? And it's yeah, he played Rook D1, and of course, Knight D3, I really don't understand. I don't think it can be the right move, but he will try to get into this position probably with Knight E5 because otherwise he has to go back to C5, which could be.
I guess Knight E5 is the plan. I mean, otherwise, what's the? It's not like Rook D1 is a useless move, no? I guess this.
No, not at all. And I think maybe he was I don't know if he was confused in this line. He thought that. But Knight D3 is a weird move, I think.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on from this game. We've been here for a long time. Shall we move on to board 7?
Sure.
So on board 7, Karel Broschka, who I think we just learned, made a draw against... Oh, Niels. Okay, let's go back for one more second because we have a suggestion from Niels. He's wondering if after Rook D1, if maybe Rook E3 was the idea. And Queen F5.
With Rook F1? Mean that he's gonna have compensation here.
He's saying a lot of threats. Rook F1, Bishop H6.
Bishop H6 and Queen E1. Yeah, it's true. Could be... I mean, H4 or something like that.
He's saying, or even Queen E4 maybe.
Yeah, I see it. And probably he has to do H3 for sure. Just run away with the king.
And Niels is saying that this rook here on A3 is so bad.
Yeah, it's very misplaced, you know. So he gets some compensation from this, because the rook is really bad. I agree. It's like you have Bishop F8 sometimes, and to take it back, and perhaps this is the idea.
And he just took on E3. He just took.
Yeah, this is actually interesting. It's an interesting move. It's not bad at all, this.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back to this one. I think this one will become really interesting.
Yeah, it's actually it's quite interesting, because F takes E, Queen F5, and there's no tricks like you can do H3. What happens? No, it doesn't work. He takes in Knight E5. Of course, take that back.
Oops, sorry.
No.
You wanted this, but then.
Yeah. Okay. No. This is really bad. So that's not playable. So you have to play Rook F1. There's nothing else.
There's a question in the chat. What if White returns the exchange on D3?
Yeah, then Queen takes, and you should just look at the structure. It's like this has been a huge achievement for Black. Suddenly, Black is with Bishop pair.
He's suggesting Queen E1 here, but looks.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. You can go Rook E8 and or Bishop H6, and there's so many moves that are just illustrating the Black's advantage here, and this is not good at all, actually.
Yeah. So Queen F5 is on the board, and it looks like
he has to go Rook F1.
Yeah.
And I think it's the only move. And the question is how much because White will do H4 and King H2 or something like that. But I somehow it looks promising for Black.
Yeah. I think let's come back to this one. We've been on this game for so long.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure, but because White also can escape, but at least the game starts to get going.
Heat up, yeah. Okay, so let's go to board 7. Karel Broschka against Hampus Sorensen.
Yeah.
And what is this? Looks like at first sight, I haven't counted yet. No, material is equal. It looked like Black was up some pawns, but there was a pawn hiding here on B6. But still, at first sight, the white pieces look a bit
Yeah.
Unstable, no? Do you agree?
Yeah. You have to go. What is the move? Knight c3 must be the move here. I don't see any other move. And then the question is, where will the queen go? Because, what happens? Can you do?
Can I go to e5? And maybe even... I would love to pick up this pawn somehow, but I guess maybe you will also try to take...
Well, there's different ways to do it. You know, you can do queen h4. No, knight takes d5. And that's a problem.
Ah, nice.
That's a serious problem,
Yeah.
actually. So this is disaster. So queen h4 is not possible. You have to go... Because basically you want to get the queen back. You can also go queen... Can you do that? Because I was thinking also about queen c4. And then, but then knight b5. No, so it
Then
doesn't.
I'm gonna jump to d6, or...
It doesn't give anything special. Because also you can jump maybe to c7. It can be very awkward. Okay, so let's skip that.
He has played queen g6 is on the board.
Yeah. But now there's also possibility of no.
b7.
I was thinking rook b2. But knight e5 maybe. Knight e5. It's a very awkward move. Threatening knight c4, knight f3.
Yeah.
So, no. Probably not a good idea. But it is also
Can
a
I
bit...
somehow try and go after your... What if...
Yeah, you can...
First of all, if I go back to... Like if I go back...
Mhm.
Do you have anything better than to repeat? Like, I don't even know who is playing. Who is playing for what?
Knight e5 is probably... Knight a4, knight e5.
Right, knight
if you got knight a4, probably black should play knight e5.
Here.
Yeah. And the idea to get to c4 and f3 and so on.
Yeah, actually this looks good, yeah. So I shouldn't go back to a4.
I'm not sure. I mean, it's a bit tricky position. It's not... I'm not sure what's the best here, because you also have this idea sometimes to do e4. And just to... But it doesn't look right. Just d4. Because this is basically what white would love to do, is like two moves here, like with knight a4 and f3, that kind of ideas. So you can start
stabilize.
Stabilize and pick up the pawns and so on. But I don't get it to work here. So you have to wait.
He played rook b2.
Yeah, that's a solid move. But then we have the look at knight e5. And here he needs a move.
You need to get out of this and this. So I guess queen...
Queen somewhere.
Queen e2? I don't know.
Yeah, queen e2. That was knight c4 probably. Queen e2, knight c4. So I don't...
I like this for black actually, no?
Yeah, it starts to look a bit... But it's still that you have to get the pawn as well. So can you do it? It's like queen e2, knight c4. You have to go rook b3.
Sorry, what did you say? Queen
e2. Knight c4. You have to do rook b3. I think rook c6. Rook c6 and b7. And it's just, what is it, queen f7.
So the knight e5 has been played now?
Yeah, I mean this is not this. It looks like black is gonna round off the pawn.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
And this
So-
must be some kind of Blumenfeld or something like this, no? I suppose.
It was. It's again this line. We were talking about it yesterday with Niels, this A6.
Ah, okay.
that
Yeah.
I love to play now.
That has become very popular,
Okay,
this
yeah.
Queen's Gambit with A6.
Pontus, let's take a quick look at board 8, where Seo Jung-min, the second seed of the tournament, who was held yesterday by Ellen Nilsson. So let's look at his game, and then we'll go back to the top boards. So
Who is to move here? It's black to
It's
move here.
black to move. So black is
Yeah.
Rusty, Arvin Rusty, who is.
Yeah.
Do you know the player?
Yeah, it's a promising young player. That is, I think he's way younger than the other ones, no?
Okay,
He's
I don't
not.
know.
I think he's quite small. And he's started to make some moves and won some tournaments in Sweden. He's doing good.
Maybe someone in the chat. By the way, hello. I haven't spent too much time looking at the chat, but there's almost 100 of you watching us. So welcome to everyone. And maybe someone can help us and look up which year is Arvin Rusty born. And what about his position?
Well, I was asking who's on the move because there was this tactic with the H4, knight
So
E4.
the last move was Queen F6 and Knight E2.
Yeah.
So black to move.
So now there's a threat of H4 and knight E4. It's a nasty fork. So that's what he's planning. So basically you have to find a way to avoid that. Because if you're on the black side here, you don't want to see that.
Maybe a queen move somewhere.
Yeah, you can. I mean, here is this quite big decision because he has to, consider if he's going to play Queen D6 in exchange of the queens.
I would love to. I mean, okay, I kind of feel like this king. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like I would love to keep the queens because I feel this king is a bit open on H1.
Yeah, that's what you would like to do, but there's also
Not so easy. Yeah?
you have to be realistic with the threats as well because.
Thank you to White Dancing Rockstar, by the way, who's telling us that he was born in 2005, so he is 14 or 15 years old, probably 15.
Yeah.
Queen D8 he played.
Yeah, and now there is. I think this is probably a good move, but you have to calculate here because there's F6.
Oh, this is what I was wondering.
But you have Rook D3, and that's his plan. It has to be his plan.
Yeah, and there's nothing. This is just good for.
I think this is. Let me see. What do we get? Queen G4.
So he didn't play F6. He played H4.
Yeah, that's. You can start with that instead. And.
Where do we go? Do we have to go back?
No, I'm not sure you go anywhere. You can play Rook D3 as well.
Rook D3. Yeah, I was just thinking.
So you have to analyze this position. What's the best?
What's the time situation? Okay, only 13 minutes. 13
There is,
minutes for black.
you have also. I'm not sure, but there's also options of knight E4, and there is more moves. Not sure. I'm not sure at all that this is good, but it's an option. It's a move.
But what
That's
is your feeling about this? I mean, I like black, but who am I? Who am I to say? It's always a bit when you know that the white player is the much higher rated.
The thing is that this position is very, very complicated. It is very concrete, and in general, of course, the structure and so on. I also like black, but white has a potential attack coming, and if you get his F6 and all that kind of stuff, then he might be able to break through. But he's threatening a very concrete idea of knight moves, F6, G6, knight F4. It's very direct moves,
I was just sending a message.
But I think
the organizers.
Knight G-H7 is a move as well.
Knight G-H7.
Yeah, because
and
the thing is that
he actually just played that.
Because the thing is that the structure, black structure, is just so much better. So the only thing you need to do is to not get mated.
Yeah. So now you control
Yeah, you put the knights there, control the game, and then start to go on the structure.
I like this suggestion, actually. I would prefer to attack directly, but you have convinced me that it's a sensible idea to stabilize first.
You have to, because basically the structure doesn't disappear. So this position is risky for white, if I put it. Yeah, it's a position that, you know, it can go well if he breaks through there, but it can, if he doesn't break through, it can also backfire heavily. This position.
By the way, Pontus, I don't know if Carl told you or if I should have told you, but I forgot. But we are gonna give away a game of the round prize.
Okay.
So keep that in mind. If there is any candidates, I will let you decide as our guest commentator.
It's already, we can make it easy and give it to Isaac. Yeah?
That's so harsh on the other guys. Yeah, sorry, he won first. You never stood a chance.
Yeah, so it was fast and quite nice game, but there was, of course, there was some dangerous things there in the start.
Yeah. Let's see what else we get. I mean, also a game like this, if Black can, you know, win, it would be a huge upset. Like. Also,
yeah, or the 1A4. Yes, to play 1A4 must be a game of the day.
Okay, so white played Rook G1 and Queen G7. They're pretty fast, these guys.
Yeah, they have to. Young Min always plays very fast. He's known for being extremely practical. So, but he's the strongest young player in Sweden. Yeah, he's good. I think he has completed his IM title.
Yeah, Niels was talking about this yesterday. I think recently scored his last norm, and his rating is already over 2450 or something. So. Yeah.
He's a very promising player, of course. But as you can see there now, we have had some quite bad years, you can say. The last 10 or something like this, 10, 12 years, it has not been very great with getting up new players.
Yeah, it's strange. How do you explain it? Because Niels is, of course, a top grandmaster, and there hasn't been exactly this, you know, people following his lead at the top.
No, I mean, the problem has been we had very bad leadership, I would say, in the federation for some years. You can ask Jesper about it. I'm not sure how much
You're putting me into an awkward spot. He's like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much he would like to say about it, but it was actually awful. And I think it was very, very bad leadership, and Jesper knows it much better because he was hired by the federation back then. So he can. I leave that one to him to explain exactly how bad it was. My conclusion is from the outside it was dreadful.
And tell us how it really was, Pontus.
Yeah.
Tell us how you really feel about this.
Well, it's very, very bad, and we don't have to go further than that. But Jesper, I'm sure he has some more stories there.
I think Jesper will join me on Monday, so I can ask him about it then.
You can press him on that. But the problem was that there was nothing for the basically the ones who were good, no matter if it was like senior level or if it was junior level. So, but when I was like a junior, for example, there was like a talent program. That Jesper was leading, by the way, with Grandmaster Stellan Brunel. And that one was, I tried to basically do something for the better ones. And we went to tournaments abroad, by the way, to Czech Republic, for example. We often went to the Pardubice Chess Festival.
Me too, Luxembourg as well. The youth players, we were also, Pardubice was our... By the way, sorry to interrupt you, 1 second, Pontus, but I've just seen that there has been a result on the top board. And it's a big upset. Victoria Radeva from Bulgaria has beaten the top seed, Felix Blueberger.
Must been some kind of blunder, because I thought the position was...
Why? We have the game now.
It was this game, yeah?
We didn't see it because it was stuck. Shall we have a quick look at it?
I confused it with the Milton game.
Yeah, we had not
sorry.
seen it because it was stuck.
Yeah,
But it
It
looks
was the
like...
one who got stuck. Sure.
So, okay, so nice little tactic here. Of course, you cannot take the rook because of bishop h7.
Yeah.
Famous discovery, so g6, and the rook goes back. What is going on here? It looks like... Position already looks very nice for white with these pieces here kind of stuck.
Well, it's very. I mean, it looks very good for black in the long run. So if white's attack doesn't break,
if you don't get killed, you're doing well, yeah.
Yeah, no. The thing is that this is very typical, like in the green felt. You have these kind of positions that black is just totally winning if he survives. But in this game, it was obvious that black didn't survive, and then, ouch. Well, let me go back there. Go back.
That was a brutal end to the game.
But go back. This was really, I think a6 was like suicide, or
a6 looks
like total suicide, no?
Because
yes.
Can you take back any other way? No, there's mate on e8.
It's mate there anyway, so a6 was total suicide. You should go back. I was thinking about queen c7 here.
But this is another, I mean, this has to be candidate for game of the day. I mean,
definitely
to beat the top seed in such brutal fashion is incredible.
Yeah, I think that queen c7 here is a good move. And then I think that it would have been better. You still, it's this knight g5, which is very interesting. I like this game. I like the attack.
Yeah, here. I mean, looks very promising. I know Victoria a little bit because I had recruited her actually this year to play for my team in the English league. But then Corona came along, and so she never got to play. But I know that she's a very, very promising young player from Bulgaria, and I mean, she really showed it today. Let's just show the end of the game. Okay, a6, as you say, suicide. Let's just show one more time here. Okay, the problem is nothing to do. You cannot put any piece in between. And if you take with any other piece, with the bishop or the knight, rook e8 is mate. And so queen takes, but bishop f7 is a brutal end to the game. Queen, if you take, queen c4 is mate. And if you go king h8, I guess just rook e8, or is there anything?
Yeah, rook e8. It's fine. You don't need to.
So
you don't need to win in a nicer way than that.
It's, just, it's enough. Yeah.
It's grind out the point. That's how you do it.
So after bishop f7, Felix Blueberger decided he had seen enough and resigned. But that was one brutal game on board one.
Yeah, it was interesting. I don't know.
I think we should.
Because I mean, we have to check it a bit. If you go back...
The problem is, I think the time is ticking down all the other games. I think people, if they want to, they can type in the chat games and they can analyze, because we have so many games that are live now.
They're getting towards the time travel also.
Exactly. So I think we should stick to the games that are live. So let's go back to board 2, where Ivana is playing against Milton Panzer. But once again, congratulations to Victoria Radeva. I mean, what a brilliant game, and beating the top seed, a big upset.
Yeah, it was very nice, and this is the good thing with this tournament, that it brings in so many talented players from different countries as well.
Here, but not so much as.
No, and we're actually quite pleased to see that there's so many also Swedish players that are they're getting up.
Yeah.
And they're becoming good, and they're also going for chess, which is also something very important, because we had, due to the bad leadership, there was no chance for them to go for chess, basically. So all of them quit. They were quitting, they were quitting, and no one was really going for chess. But now there's this talent program up again, So it's they're doing the same. It's called, I think, Team Sweden something, and it's like it's sponsored also by a law firm, Söderqvist. So it's great actually. It is really good.
Very
And then
nice. Good news for Swedish juniors.
yeah, you have Tiger is coaching there, Pia is coaching there, you know, and there's I think Nils is doing also some session, you know. So there's and they are going to tournaments in different countries and playing all the time. Isak that you heard is doing is going to chess university in Norway, and Gustav is also there, and I think there's more of them that goes there. There's also some more. So there are a bunch of Swedish kids that are that lives in Oslo in Norway, and they go to this this
NTG, I don't know.
university that Simon or high school it is actually chess.
I think NTG, unless it's
NTG that Simon Agderstein is leading. So it's great, you know, that you see upcoming juniors. Because we have had so many years without any new blood in the national teams and so on. So it's good.
So let's go back to this game here on board 2. So there's been a lot of shuffling the pieces around since we left. There is still this weakness on e3, but how do you evaluate the changes that have happened since we last looked at this?
I think it looks, I mean, still Black is doing better, but it's, I would say it's better now for White than it was before, because now you can also see some weaknesses in the Black position, you know, because you see the B5, the C6, you know, and right now it doesn't achieve that much.
Yeah.
So, and if you have a queen exchange, you know, then the evaluation of the position can change totally.
Completely, yeah. You know what, Pontus? I think we should leave this one for a bit later, because this one is more maneuvering. I feel like there's probably, because the clock is ticking down, I feel like there's probably some games where something is going to happen very soon. So shall we leave this one?
Maybe go back to the one with Nilsson, because that one looked really...
So that's board 6, where White had opened, Siem van Del had opened with one A4. And so let's go back. We saw this exchange sacrifice, Rook E3, and we left it here after Queen F5. So White played
Queen B1, yeah.
Queen B1, interesting. So Bishop.
It's a smart move. That's a smart move, probably. So he gets this kind of structure. Rook E1, Rook E8.
And finally, this Rook on A3.
You see, that's why.
That's a job.
That's why you put it there. It's like a brilliant maneuver from the start, calculated from first move. We just didn't understand it properly.
Absolutely. But still, still Black has, what, one pawn for the exchange? Would you say that Black still has compensation here?
Black has excellent position, I think, because you have A6, B5 coming, and it looks very, very dangerous for White.
Would you take Black here?
Yeah, definitely. I think Black is winning.
Winning? Wow.
Yeah, it's just A6, B5, and what are you gonna do?
I don't know.
No, I think it's very unpleasant position.
So King G2 has just been played, so I guess you want A6, yeah?
Yeah, A6, B5. I mean, there's also Bishop F8, you know. There's I really wouldn't like to see this position from the White side. Yeah. I think there's big problems and great composition, you know, especially also when they're approaching time trouble and so on.
Yeah, 8 minutes each.
And Black's position is so much easier.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's so hard for White. Like what
I mean, what are you gonna do? You know, you have to at some point give up the pawn.
Yeah.
So maybe Rook D1 and this kind of stuff. But I'm not sure what you're actually doing. Where you're heading, you know, like, okay, Rook D8, there's one check, but then what?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, looks actually very good. Looks very promising.
Maybe that's the best move, Rook D1, and then hope
that let's say after A6.
Yeah, and hope that he takes on E3, and then you can go back, you know. You go Rook E1 again, and then you have tricked him.
So I will not I will not take. I guess I can go b5 anyway, or what?
Yeah, yes, something like that. You know, this was what I didn't like, but maybe this is the best white can do, and then rook d4. You know, somehow white just needs to, no matter if it costs some pawn here and there, you just have to get some rook off. I think, yes, to get a playable position, and black's position, of course, will still be very nice. But I should maybe take back totally winning, because that's a bit too strong.
A bit too much.
But
Promising.
Advantage, yes, that's clear. But winning, that's a bit too much, actually, I would say. But in practical play, I think it's excellent chances for black.
Let's go back to your namesake on board 3, Ludwig Carlsson, with the black pieces playing against Kokokshari. And so this one...
He's fighting, huh?
Yeah.
But, I mean, like I said before, white should win this game.
So he got the pawns going. He exchanged one pair of rooks.
Yeah.
And this is the position now.
Yeah, it's not so... It has not really developed. He allowed him to find a setup that could work, actually.
So black is trying to achieve, I guess, some kind of fortress, yeah?
Yeah, and it looks actually a bit promising for his fortress right now. And the only thing is that if there's some Zugzwang or something like this, because what idea can you have? You can get the king to... I don't know what he's doing, Khan, because this I don't see how he can make progress. Like this, you know?
Yeah. So even he will pick up.
Yeah, he's gonna pick up that
pawn. Let's say
port,
any move he will pick up, but then, okay, let's say if I just wait, so we need to find a plan for white, yeah?
Yeah, I don't think there is any plan here. I mean, how are you gonna win this? You have to find the Zugzwang, you know, like you have to get the queen down to d8, and probably the king to somehow c5 or something, and then you have to this move and queen f6, and then you have to
try and bring the king, but to where?
I mean, the king has to be somewhere. This is not gonna work.
It's hard, yeah.
The only thing that you can do here is to try to get the king in on the queen side somewhere, and then you have to be able to
push f.
You have to have c4 played. You have to be able to sack the queen on the rook, then take b7 and take a6. You know?
Some long-term dreams.
Yeah, but it's only. I mean, otherwise you can't do it. So you have to be able to get in the queen, the king on a7 basically.
So king e3, king d7 has been played. So black is literally just doing this. He's just actually they played exactly what we said. Take, and black is just waiting and saying, "Show me."
And now white is going to go with his king to c5 or something like this, you know, and the queen has to get to d8, and then he has to try to cross. To get it to a7, and then he has to check on d8 or something, and he has to get the pawn to c4 as well, and then you have to take on e8 and take on b7 and then take on a6. That's the only way to win.
What is the rating difference here? What is Ludwig Carlsson's rating?
I mean, it's 21 something, I think. It's close to 22.
Where is this rating, Ludwig Carlsson?
Maybe 2210 or something. Yeah, it should be around.
At 2280 already.
Okay, he's improved.
I predict a draw he will hold.
What's the time? Okay, it's okay. Yeah, it looks probably a draw.
Okay.
But the only chance to win is that plan there, I said. Otherwise, and maybe if he can get the king over, but that's the problem. I don't really see how you get the king over. You probably maybe you can do it actually.
Where do you want to bring the king?
Yeah, you have to get the king to c5. So you get the king to c5 here, and this is that move. You can always do queen f8 as well. So it's
okay, but let's say
with the rook e8, rook e6 probably.
Yeah.
And then the idea is that when this rook e8 comes here, comes now, you go queen f6 check. And now king b6, I would say. King b6, b6. Yeah.
Yeah, that was rook e6 what am I talking about, yeah. But can I...
And then I want to get it to a7, you know.
Can I do this? No, I'm losing the pawn. What am I talking about?
That's a dream. That's what we're for.
So
and then
what do you want to do if I just wait?
It's not so easy to wait. You know?
Yeah.
I have to go rook e6 probably. I think, and then I want to check again, of course. And then I want to do king a7. I think king a7 could be king c7 as well. You know, one of those moves.
What are you trying to achieve?
Queen f6. I think queen f6. And now I want to do c4. And now I want to go there. No, you should do rook e8 so I can take it. Okay, then I want to take it. I want to take this rook.
So I shouldn't go rook e8, yeah.
Yeah, so you have to go king g7,
Okay,
and now
okay, let's just show your idea to the viewers.
Yeah.
And this pawn will run, basically.
Yeah, and then I want to
pick up this pawn.
I'll take that one, and then I'll put the king on b7 and run with my pawns and win the game. But what I'm waiting for is that what I was not sure about is if I can do the Zugzwang here, because
now I have no moves, yeah.
This is the idea is that you're going to be in a position where you have no moves, and I hope this is the position.
But what do you play here?
Probably king b8.
King
b8. You know, like this is how you have to try to win this position.
And if I go here,
maybe C, maybe even
you have
C.
queen f8, huh?
Maybe yeah, exactly. Then I go queen f8, but maybe even c5 instead of king b. I'm not sure. Some of those moves I will do, and the idea is basically I will go for that plan. You know.
Actually, you have not convinced me completely, but I'm starting to. So queen c7 is played, rook e6, and okay, he will try and bring this king now somehow.
I think it might be a win, but you have to go for that kind of Zugzwang idea, you know, that you have to get it in there and then take the rook. That's the only way to win.
You're convincing me. Let's move on. Let's see. We'll come back to this one.
Let's see, because it also takes a little bit of guts to do it. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
You have to be. It's sometimes when you're alone time, you don't want to take risks. Yeah.
That's true. But then again, you're not risking so much unless your king is somehow getting into trouble.
What's going on?
So we're on board 4, Stefansson against Nemec. What is...
Wow.
I have to check where are the pawns going.
But what happened, honestly? This is what?
Let's go back. Okay, we left this position so long ago.
This game. Oh, sorry, I was confusing it with the one with the queen versus
yeah. This one we haven't looked at for a long time, yeah. But there was.
But this was a clear advantage for white.
Okay, let's just see how we got here. So we had this endgame.
So he went for the end game. Okay.
So now at least some pawns are coming off, but it's still complicated.
Definitely. The very crazy rook.
I'm just playing. I mean, this would take so much analysis, but I'm trying to get to the current position.
Yeah. Go for the action.
And it looks like white found a way, yeah? This looks pretty convincing.
Yeah, if he doesn't have any tactics, it's just gonna run with the pawn. Let me see. Does he have any tactics? What can you do? King e3, g4, king f4, g5, king rook f8, and king g7, yeah. I know, this is just lost.
Yeah.
There is no hope.
Yeah, nice conversion there in the rook ending by Stefansson.
Yeah, it's also a promising player from Iceland.
Absolutely. Okay, so this one looks like it's gonna white. Black is still thinking, but I guess he might just resign here. It's hard to.
Yeah, this is hard. Maybe you have another one because I think we are approaching time.
So let's go to board 5.
It's funny game, yeah. Once again.
So let's go back. Where did we left it? This one with the.
We
were wondering, are there any tricks? We left it much longer ago, somewhere like here.
I mean, this is the game of the day.
This one, was so interesting. So let's see. Black is up a lot of material, but you were saying white has some tricks. Now finally, black I guess was very happy to pick up this g6 annoying pawn.
Yeah, but still there's some fragment of tricks all the time in this position, which is this is like we have a very tricky player in Sweden, in Johnny Hector, and we have a couple of those. Slavko is the same, Slavko Zizek.
Yeah.
And both of them are, in these kind of positions, it could be very
on here? So crazy.
Because they always find some way to create a mess.
I mean, this game I didn't understand anything at all. Like, it was such a strange game, but now suddenly the material is equal, let's say, from a point.
Yeah, I mean, here you can even lose with black. This is the crazy thing, that this central pawns and the knight is good, and I mean, you can just lose these 2 pawns and then suddenly you are totally lost.
I would be very afraid here as black, because also how it's so hard to push these pawns without dropping them.
Yeah, no. This is indeed. This is not.
Pontus, we have too many candidates for game of the day.
Yeah, it's not easy actually. I think probably I will be quite. I mean, this game is really interesting.
And this game is crazy.
If you like, what was it? How many moves was it Victoria won in? Like 20 moves.
21, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
hard to argue.
That's a very, very strong candidate. Yeah. Because also Isaac's game was nice, but
I think you always also have to kind of take into consideration that it was against the top seed.
Yeah, and board 1 and so on. So I like that game. Up to this point, that's my favorite. But we still haven't checked the others, so it might be some other games on there.
Okay, so let's also come back to this one, but I like it. And let's see what happened here in this game between Siim van Del and Nilsson. So we left it here after takes, queen f1, queen here, rook c3.
Yeah, Nilsson is playing good. I like how he plays. Very resourceful, and he's doing also this, like I told.
h6 b5.
I said b5 is correct, and then he's gonna win b2, and this is a bit complicated, of course, because there's queen e8, so you have to really calculate this.
What happens if I just?
But I think then you can take 2 times on. You can take on b5, and then queen e8 check.
Yes, I don't wanna.
King g7 you have to do, and then take, and then queen d2. It doesn't stop this variation. There's more, and king f1 is only move, and this is the position. And the question here is, how bad is this? Because let me see.
It looks scary at least.
Yeah, but I think maybe white can survive here. But it looks bad, of course. But there is better moves, Instead of this taking
the
bishop,
game, he
queen
didn't take on b2.
Yeah.
He play
queen d2, and then take queen takes b2, and that's totally winning. And yes, queen takes b2. I think is totally winning.
If I give this check, you will play bishop f8, or what's it? Or even.
Even king h7 is interesting. This is the best with not playing. You don't have to take that decision.
I know. Yeah.
And then I was just going to walk with my c pawn, and I think this is totally lost.
Yeah.
You can try rook d1, but then I go c2, and you have to go rook d6. But then I go c1 check, so it's a bit.
You're not in time. Yeah.
So
This looks a bit bad.
This is horrible. You know? It's just totally winning. Totally winning. And I think this game is also very nice, actually.
Yeah.
This rook takes e3 is a very nice move.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very nice.
It's a very, very. I mean, I didn't even understand the ID first one.
Yeah.
So I totally have to give Nils some fun. That this is a nice ID, very nice ID. So it was a very good game and finish.
Absolutely. Maripant in the chat is asking, is Alex making lunch? No, I think it's your better half who's making something.
Yeah. She's making some lunch.
I wish it was here, someone making lunch for me, but unfortunately not.
And right now we can't even, we are not there technically yet, so we can send it to you.
It would be nice, of course. Pontus and I have been great friends for many years, and also Teresa, his better half. So it would be nice to meet up, but in these days, this is what we have, commentating remotely online on some tournament. But it's Pontus, you have chosen a very exciting round.
Yeah, but here and I really hope it's not black to move because then it looks really.
It's white to move. So in this game, between Brochka and Servensen on board 7, Queen G3 was just played here.
Yeah, and I think that's totally winning, if I can see it correctly.
Maybe it's even over already.
Yeah, I think it's totally winning, no? Because
the clock is running still.
Because I don't see what you are doing on. The Queen C8 maybe is some move, but it must be lost. Knight takes H3, for example.
Where do I go? I guess to H.
I go there, and then I was just thinking to
maybe Rook H.
Probably this move, yeah. It looks really bad.
Yeah.
So I don't think you can survive this.
Yeah, no, it looks terrible. Let me quickly update the results to see. So okay, still a lot of games in the top 10 are going. So everything. So just Victoria won her game on board 1, and Stefansson on board 4, and the rest is still going.
How is Jung Min? That game with Jung Min?
So let's go back to board 8, Jung Min against Arvin Resti. So let's just go back. What did we miss here? We missed a lot of stuff, yeah? A lot of pieces came off.
Yeah, you mean he likes action. He's usually playing fast and it's a lot of action. But here he's struggling.
He's in big trouble, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, it's not a funny rook endgame, this. He has bad structure and this Rusty is also a very interesting player.
Yeah.
Very, because he's very. I like his style. You know, he writes to me sometimes on social media, and he's like challenging me.
Nice.
Yes. So I like this guy. He's not really afraid of anything. He just wants to beat some grandmasters and get better. You know, so I like it.
So how do we make progress? Can I bring my king?
Yeah, you should. Let me see here. You have also
this has already all been played.
Yeah, you can. And then but he also has different moves in that position that we just had as well. I think. So we just have to evaluate which rook endgame that we want to go for. Let me see now. King F3. Because there is a bit of problem. Because of course you always want it all in this kind of endgames, but I was thinking Rook B6. How do I keep all the pawns?
Rook B6.
And Rook B6 must be played.
Okay,
I think.
what if I just push?
Well, he wants to exchange off all the pawns, but
So what, you will take or what?
Yeah, you taken, but if you take, then this has to be played, and then this looks bad, I think. What do you do? King G2? You have to disturb him somehow.
Can I go here?
Rook F4, rooks. Yeah, this is terrible. This is
awful,
terrible. It's over. So you have to do. I think Young Min is just totally lost here.
Rook A8 was played.
This must be totally winning. What about?
What if can I even play Rook F5 or something? I don't know.
Rook F5, his idea is to go back, like Rook B8.
And if I take...
But-
Take...
Yeah, this is the interesting part. If you take... No, what about if you do... Let's go back. I was just thinking, what about... Yeah, play this. King takes B3, Rook takes A5. Because the thing is that we just want 2 pawns here, and then we want to cut off the king and so on. Let me see here. How do you do this? How do we do this? There must be a win. Quite easily. What about if we take everything? What happens? How do we get it back? We do A5.
You mean take here?
Yeah, yes, take there and take there and run with the C pawn. Yeah, try that. And then we do king. No. We start with king.
This
king
position
B4.
is on the board now, by the way, already.
Yeah, take on C4 and start with king B4. Yeah, let's try that. And then I wanted to go probably C5.
But all these endings must all be winning, no?
But this is easy. Now we just rook A1 and it's over.
But
I think it's just to go and take the pawns and it's just totally winning.
H4 has been played instead of taking on C4.
Yeah. Well, it's a very promising player, this Rusty, as well, because he's really not. He just wants to get better and challenge himself, and he's like he's organizing his own tournaments and so on. So every time because I'm not so much on social medias, and sometimes when I browse through, I have like some kind of messages from him, where he's like challenging me into some games.
But it's very nice. It's nice to see this enthusiasm and this hunger, to take down the grandmasters and the young players.
He really wants to beat the grandmaster. That's how he wants. So he wants to play some blitz and get better.
Yeah. And it looks like here is about to get a big scalp, and it's not a good days for the top seeds. The top seed lost to Victoria Radeva, and Young Min, he's the second seed. Looks like he's about to go down,
yeah? Yeah. And it's also a nice game, He's played this game has been nice, very. So I think that's, and this also shows that, for example, if you look at the top players,
Can I just interrupt you for 1 second, because we got a raid. I don't know how familiar you are with Twitch, Pontus, but a raid from Grandmaster Tranquilizer from Romania. I'm actually so tired that the name is escaping me right now. Grandmaster, somebody in the chat helped me out, but he ended his stream and he sent his viewers to us, so thank you very much. And welcome, Raiders. Let me introduce Grandmaster Pontus Carlsson, and we're just looking at round 2 of the Uppsala Young Champions. Levente Vaida, sorry, I had a brain. You must know Levente, at least by name, no? You must have.
No, of course I know him. We have played. We are the same age, I think, or it's 1 year different, and so we have played in the World Juniors first time. World Youth Championships, not the World Juniors. We played for many years ago in Spain.
Nice.
So, and he was one of those players that quite quickly had a GM title and so on. So already then he was very strong.
Yeah.
So I know him, of course. I don't know him that well in person, but
it's always when you're from the same generation, like you kind of like grew up together in a way almost when you always see each other in these junior
Well, at
tournaments.
least we saw each other one time per year, you know, say in the World Youth every year. So that's true. There was one of those guys that I knew that I will meet at least one time that year.
Absolutely. So meanwhile, A6 has been played. At some point, I guess we will put the rook behind the pawn. Thank you, Levente, and thank you for the raid once again. So do we play now, or what do you want to play after A6?
Yeah, it's good to play it now, I think. Maybe we should first think. could be a good start. Because, I mean, in general, we want to do it now. Let me see. Let's do it now. King comes closer. Let's do it now.
Where does...
Ace.
Okay, he just played Rook A1.
Yeah, and A7. It's interesting, actually. These young kids, huh? They always find some resources.
But okay, can I put my rook... Okay.
And this is not easy. What happened? Yeah, actually, how did he get the pawns running like that? I didn't understand this. He must have done some mistake.
Yeah, suddenly it's not so easy.
Because the pawn shouldn't be able to get there with the rook behind.
Yeah.
I think that he did a mistake that he ran with the c pawn instead of going for the pawn directly. I think that was the mistake.
Maybe here instead of c5. Can we...
He's afraid of what he's afraid of here is probably but this is how he should have played. But he's probably afraid of a5, king b5, rook b8, and then he has problems to make progress.
And then you have rook b6.
Rook b6.
Yeah, it was already not so easy actually. Maybe the end game was not as easy as we thought.
So he did c5 here.
Yeah, so we got all this. And now
But
what
I
do you
think
do?
king c3 is probably a mistake. You should probably go king b4 there. You have to keep an eye on that pawn, probably.
But again, what do you do now?
Yeah, this is interesting. I wanted to go for the pawn now. Can I do that?
But I will give you again this check, no?
Now king c4. And then I will go king b5. And then king b5, not b4.
Ah, sorry, yeah.
And then when you will give the check, I will go king a6, I was thinking. And if rook b6, I take the pawn, and then I will cut off your king and win the game. So you have to play rook a8, probably. I think. And then I was thinking king b7.
You have tricked me.
And if
now
I sit,
you have to figure out if this is winning, but should be. Yeah?
I will take, and then I will cut your king. And I should be in time to do that. I will,
you even go.
I will be just in time to cut off your king.
How? What will
If
you
I put
play
it up.
here?
I have two moves. I can do c4, or I can just go rook anywhere, and then rook d1. You know, I will just cut off your king, and then I will win.
Okay, yeah.
And then I win.
Looks convincing. Yeah, so maybe that was the way. But let's see now. Is it... What is this? Looks like a draw now, no? How to make progress.
Yeah, I'm just thinking how he can win. How can he do it? Like king d4, king. Where to go? Yeah, I mean, how do you make progress here? I just don't get it. What am I missing?
Pontus, shall we give game of the round to Victoria?
There is one idea, actually, Fiona. You can go to c7. There is one idea. Rook c7 now. And then you have to calculate this. What happens? King takes. You are not in time. It doesn't work.
By the way, Pontus, should we give game of the round to Victoria?
Definitely. That has to be game of the round. And maybe it wasn't clean, because Black had some better moves. But it was what I liked with it was the finish.
Yeah.
And also the result, when you beat the top seeds like that.
Yeah.
In 20 moves, so congratulations.
Absolutely, and I think there will be some gifts sponsored by Chessbase, so thank you to them as well. And yeah, big congratulations to Victoria. So what is this? I think this is all... Okay, so he played King E6, so this all happened, but King E6, not King E5.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, he's good for Rook. And it looks like a draw.
Yeah.
I don't see how you can like untangle and win.
Yeah, tough defense. I mean, good defense by Youngmin.
Yeah, definitely. But there was some subtleties there in the Rook end game that he missed.
Yeah.
So Arvin needs to work on his Rook end games and not just playing Blitz against Grandmasters online. So he needs to work on the Rook end games. No, but it's many times that can be a weakness, of course, of young players, that they are...
But it's also tough with little time on the clock. It's so hard with 3 minutes to calculate these nuances.
Definitely. And that's also the reason why you have to know it better.
Yeah.
And there comes the experience in. Like, it's always easier for older players that are more experienced, that have maybe studied and played some games that looks like this, Then you always have something to go on, and that's helps you a lot when you are like low on time. But of course, if you are like 10, 11, 12, 13 or 15 like this, how you haven't played that many games.
Of course.
And you haven't studied, so of course you lack a bit in experience.
Pontus, do you see? I just refreshed the results. Look at this. Almost everyone in the top 8 are still playing. There we have a lot of results on the bottom board.
Is there any upsets late?
Well, Victoria, of course. The problem is there was... Okay, so Zala Ur, Women International Master, we saw her game yesterday. She already played a nice game. And she has beaten Hilmir Freyr Heimison. So that's a big upset. 150 points. She was outrated.
Yeah, that's could be. Maybe that was the game of the day. We don't know, but
I think we chose well.
Yeah, we have already chosen. I think if you win on board 1 like that,
you deserve it. So
it's
here,
game of the day.
What is this? They're still playing. There's a check, but okay, the draw will be agreed now. Okay,
let's go Rook C8 and it's a draw directly.
Yeah.
So it's but maybe Youngmin is trying for the win. Yeah, but you never know with Youngmin. He's.
Did you see yesterday what happened in the end of his game against Ellen Nielsen?
No, I didn't see that.
So he was held to a draw by Ellen, but in the end they got to a position. Youngmin had 2 knights, and Ellen had 1 knight, and no pawns, just these 3 knights, and they played this for 50 moves.
Yeah, but he's a real fighter.
Yeah.
There is a famous story actually when he was playing and it was some years I think 1 or 2 years ago, and he had he was playing against Eric Blomqvist, this champion. And then basically Eric offered him a draw. Eric was leading the tournament. It was last round. And he offered Youngmin a draw. Which I would say that many of the young players, when a Grandmaster offers a draw after 5-6 moves or something like this, and then they will accept out of pure respect. And they still would have done a good tournament. But Youngmin just looked at him and said, "No, we fight." Played on and went to win the game.
Nice. I like this. I like the fighting spirit.
Yeah. So he's a total fighter, and I like it. It's like and that's what I also like with the upcoming ones. That there's a bunch of them that as you can see here, that are good.
Yeah, the future is bright. Future is bright for Swedish chess.
They have also the right attitudes. They just play. and they are not afraid of denying draws if they're better and have chances, and they don't have the same respect as some of the previous generations had.
Yeah.
And I think that's also very important if you want to become good.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
here on board 2, Milton looks like he's on his way to a win. 2 pawns
Yeah.
up in the night ending. Let's go to board 3. Kan Kokoshari against Ludwig Carlsson. Okay, so they are still, the king is trying to make, but the queen, what is the queen doing on h3?
Well, he had maybe he was doing the same idea that I want to do, but a little bit. He's getting there. So don't worry, he's coming.
He's coming. Okay, let's come back. Let's see if some games. This one finished. We saw board 5. What is this one? Board 5. Stallmach against Kusha. We were wondering. Let's just see what happened since we left. So queen here. But white is
funny.
the one.
White
White is
win.
playing for a win, yeah?
Yeah.
We could have
Yeah.
repeated there.
This is really funny game. This is in one way this is actually the game of the day, in one way, because it's a really interesting game.
Yeah.
And knight f7 now has to be examined.
So
What
knight
happened?
f7.
Where does the king go?
King
You have to go
h5.
up, yeah?
Yeah, no choice.
No choice. So
Because
and then where is the
let's just show to the viewers. King h7. Sorry, I picked the wrong square. This is game over. So you have to go up.
it's not really game over. You have to if you go knight f7, king h7. This.
The pawn is running, of course.
Well, what happens? King up.
Well,
That's what I wanted to do. It also doesn't work. I was thinking
but
about
this
knight,
is, you want clear, yeah? But then I take.
but it does. It's like then you take. You take. It's very complicated. Rook e8. I mean, you can also take the pawns, and you are not losing. You know.
Yeah.
So white doesn't run any risk.
Yeah.
But it's like what's going on? King g7, and you can't do anything. Yeah, it's just a repetition, no. Rook e7, and you're gonna repeat the moves like king g8, or can you go for mate? You go for mate, king g6. Wow, this is
What a game!
this is hard.
So wait, so
Yeah.
now h3 is on the board. So okay, so. But
So okay,
let's
so
say.
king h5 is the only move. And here I was thinking knight d6. What happens? I'm not sure. That might be a mistake. We also have knight d8. That has to be examined.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No,
That's
no,
a
what-
big
no.
mistake. He just takes it, and then it's a pin. Knight d6 is the only move. Knight d6. Let's check this. Queen h8.
Let me
maybe?
just see what's the time situation. Okay, 2 minutes against 4 minutes. So
Yeah, that's
it's-
also.
I mean, anything can happen here still.
I was just thinking that this is very interesting position. Queen f8 maybe. It's the best. Maybe that's a problem. And then there's no. Yeah, you can take the. Yeah. This
You
does-
just take, yeah?
I'd take the rook is a big mistake because then there's a fork on g3. So when you take there and the king takes an h2, knight e4, and you're gonna be very unhappy.
Yeah.
Suddenly, when you realize this, that there's a fork there. That's
So
probably a mistake
crazy.
because then they can take knight.
Yeah.
No, sorry, it's knight g3. Yeah, so that's okay. But black can push the pawn. Or can he do that? Maybe he can't do that. I was saying h2, but that's probably rook h7. No? It's a big mistake.
But now? And again, you
Same,
take
the
me.
same. You take, yeah. So you can't do that. So that's probably a big mistake, yeah. So you have to do something else here. Maybe you can't take on f2 as well. Or maybe you can take on f2
Okay,
actually.
let's take this pawn.
Yeah, because if rook h7, king g6. So knight e4, Is that possible? Why, I don't know. Now it looks like
no,
white.
yeah, I can just
White,
take, no?
white is misplaying here.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
This doesn't.
H3?
So H3. What to
40
do?
seconds for white, by the way.
What to do on H3? Yeah, he's trying to find his way here. How he can go for something.
Not easy.
But I'm not sure. I think maybe he misplayed. What about knight f7? That has
By
to
the
be.
way, meanwhile, just to say, Hampus Sørensen has won his game against
Yeah.
Rachel Proschka.
Yeah, that one was quite clear. So knight e5, king h5. Is there any other move on that? In that
Knight
situation?
where?
Like, I don't know, the rook e5, is that move? It's king h4. And now you need some miraculous knights shifting to g6. What about knight? Where is the knight going?
This is
Knight
on the
A-
board, by the way. And he went knight
Knight-
e5, he played.
What about knight d6 there? Could that be a possible move? But this must be a mistake, because now you must be able to somehow get the rook. I was just thinking, what about queen d8? Queen d8, no?
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well.
Because if knight c6, I go queen d6.
Oh, actually, we have Victoria with us, Pontus.
Oh, that's nice.
Excellent. So let's add her now. This is great news.
Yeah.
Great news. Let's add her and see what she has.
This is just winning, I think. I can't see it on it. Because you have knight c6, queen d6, rook e6, queen takes e6. Then you have time to run with the h-pawn.
Victoria!
Hi.
Hi! First of all, congratulations. Sorry, Pontus, to have cut you off.
Thank you.
But congratulations, what a game today.
Yeah.
Pontus and I have already awarded you with the prize for Game of the Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice, thank you.
Before we talk about the game in itself, how are things there in Uppsala? How are you feeling? How are you enjoying the tournament so far?
The tournament is going really well so far. I'm happy with my game today. I wasn't actually expecting to play this line, but I decided to give it a try because why not?
So you didn't plan to play this, or what do you mean?
No, actually, okay, I prepared Sicilian, but I thought that he will take on d4 without playing knight f6. But I believe he played knight f6 just to prevent queen takes d4, so I don't know. I think the opening is still fine for black, but
This is what you were.
yeah, I thought that I might play this one. But yeah, he just played knight f6, and usually I play knight c3, but a few weeks ago I checked this line with d takes c5 because I was playing this online Olympiad. And I thought that I would surprise him with knight c3 here, and I think I actually did. Because he said that he prepared bishop d2 and c3.
Bishop
And-
d2, he prepared him, and c3.
Yeah. But okay, I just went for knight c3, and here the position is normal.
Is all of this is theory, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think he has to take on c3 and b takes c3, and then takes. He has to take with the queen, and then bishop d2, queen c6, and bishop d3. But still, I think my position is better because my bishops are really strong.
Yeah. So in the game, he played knight c6.
Yeah, and I just started developing my pieces.
Yeah, it looked like a very nice position with those bishops, and
Yeah.
I guess you're here at this point. Let's say, for example, were already very happy, I guess, with how the opening went. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy with my position.
And this nice little trick, rook d5.
Probably that move could be replaced as well. I think that Black should seriously consider as well Queen C7 there instead of Queen takes A2.
Yeah, I was thinking that he would play Queen C7, just give up the pawn and develop his
and
pieces.
Bishop E6 develop, and it's quite interesting. I think
it's better.
and then just play for the structure.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a safer choice at least.
Because in the game, your attack came very, very quickly.
Yeah, he just missed this bishop f7 at some point.
Yeah, but it's already looking very difficult, no? Or...
Yeah, it's really dangerous because his bishop on c8 is not playing and his rook on e8 is not playing.
Yeah, so we got to this point. Let's just show it quickly. And bishop c4.
Yeah, here this was a very big mistake.
Yeah.
A6.
A6
Queen
is-
C7. Queen C7 is the move here.
Yeah,
And
Queen 7 was much better, but
what? And you had knight G5.
yeah,
what-
here I could play just knight g5 and
yeah.
go
And
for
then you exactly go for the dark squares. It's also very dangerous attack. And this looks like a line from the C3 Sicilian, where you actually get these kind of positions.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
because, I mean, what did you feel when you saw a6? You understood it. Game was over. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy with this move.
Did you smile at the board, or did you wait until it?
No, I don't smile at my opponents while playing.
So a6, let's just show for the viewers who didn't see it earlier, rook d5, and basically it's game over because whichever way you recapture, if you don't take with the queen, there's rook e8, mate coming, and after queen takes, this very nice move to end the game, bishop f7.
Yeah,
it
thank
was
you.
excellent.
Really a beautiful game, Victoria. I know the next round already starts in 2 hours, so I think we will let you go, but you had a perfect start, 2 out of 2. A beautiful miniature this morning, so congratulations and best of luck for this afternoon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.
So it was a great game by
very
Victoria.
nice. So now,
Excellent.
very nice indeed. Let's update the results and see where do we go, what is still ongoing. So still a lot of games. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, Milton is gonna win, I think, on board 2. This one,
We are getting there.
we're getting there. Yeah.
It's like I think it could have been done better, like we checked before.
Yeah.
Because he went down to h3, and I think it was the wrong way. You know, you should have been going through using d8 and f6 all the time.
But it looks like he's now getting there, yeah?
Yeah, he's getting there, but it's also a little bit about timing. You have to get there in the right way.
Let's come back to this one because I think still some maneuvering, I guess. Huh?
I think Queen f6 there. Queen f6 now. Now he's there. He's getting there.
Yeah.
This is a position that we looked at.
That we looked at, yeah, I was gonna say. It feels so long ago, but we looked at this. Okay, let's see if he plays it and we'll come back. Board 5. Wait, what were we just... This is what we were just looking at, yeah? And black is winning now, I guess.
Yeah, because you have g3.
It's a very sad game for Richard Stalmach, who was playing so interestingly. And just here, like, if we go back only like 10 moves, he was the one who was, didn't want to repeat. White was playing for a win, but suddenly things went horribly wrong and this pawn was suddenly too advanced, yeah?
Yeah, he did a bit too much.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think this will be it. I don't think that... Oh, you know who just joined us in the chat? Mr. Badur Jabara.
Ah, okay. It's time.
And he says it's nice to see you.
He's trying. Yeah, it's nice always with Badur. He's probably going for some. Maybe he's the coach of this A4. It looks like a typical Badur preparation.
Let's see. Well, the game is still ongoing, I think. Badur, what do you think about? And he's asking, are you still in Prague? You can answer him. But Badur, what do you think about this one A4? And let's come to they are still playing actually.
Wow,
But-
this is it's clear change of character in the position. What happened? Black must have totally misplayed.
Let's go back. So we left it somewhere here, yeah?
Yeah, and this still looks. I mean, Black cannot lose this. It's
Yeah,
like
how did he lose this pawn?
I don't know. Bishop f4 must be very. I don't know what he did here. He didn't want to draw with Queen e7, Rook takes f7, so that's why he went for something else. But I think now he's starting to blunder away his pawns and the position, and yeah, that was a bit sad for Black.
Because
Milton.
Okay, we had some.
No, maybe he got depressed when we gave the game of the day to Victoria, so he has understood that, and then there was nothing else to play for.
But what is this? Is this winning or is it can Black draw? What is this endgame?
Let me see, but if you f7 looks a bit too weak for me, so I think it's winning, yeah?
You can somehow bring your king around, you think, yeah? Or...
Yeah, it's quite simple. You just go in there and you go and take it. And how can you stop that?
Yeah.
I think it's winning. You just get the king to e8, and then I don't think Black can defend. Yeah. So this is just winning.
Yeah. So let's go back. So this is winning. Board 7 is over. So what do we still have boards. But what was board 2? Okay, board 2 will be over. Board 2 will be over basically right now. I guess after knight e4, white will resign here. This pawn is going to queen.
Yeah, it looks hard.
And then, so that's over. Board 3. This
We
one.
have-
So this one is still interesting. He didn't go queen. No, what? He played queen f6.
No! Why didn't you take it?
Here. No, wait.
Jesus Christ. Go back.
Here, yeah?
Am I missing something? Why don't you just take the rook?
So this is what we looked at already like
This is what I
hours ago, yeah?
It's just winning. I don't see. Just straight win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you missed. Yeah. That's why it's.
But
you know,
okay,
it's-
if he missed it there, then maybe, like, if he doesn't see this idea to take the rook, then what is his other winning plan?
well, ask him. Don't ask me. No, maybe he wants to take the bishop instead. You know, go queen d6, take the bishop, take a6, and run down with the pawn and win that pawn and game instead. No, but to be serious, it's just actually that's probably also winning. To be honest,
Yeah.
if you just go queen d6 and you take on c6 and you take a6, you go king b7,
That's
you
crazy,
run with.
actually, yeah. So let's just
But-
show that. Queen d6. Okay, let's say king here and you take, yeah?
I didn't. Yeah, I hope there's no. It might be counterplay, you know, because it's not so straightforward. Maybe you can get the rook behind. Yeah, wait. Let me see. You can. No. This is too much. You can get the rook. You can play rook b8, for example.
Okay. So
Probably
he
we
played.
Probably we took the wrong pawn as well. Maybe
Yeah.
we should take the c. But okay. And anyway, there is a simple win with queen takes e8. You know, like take the rook. The rook is what he should be after.
But queen c3, so what's...
Yeah, but I think that this game I will definitely not gonna see the end of, because I will need to
You
jump
have
off.
to go to meeting, yeah?
Yeah. I have to go to the meeting, so because he has to find the right ideas. You know,
Yeah.
like you said, the Swedish school is hard. You know, if they don't
Absolutely.
play our moves, we just jump off the call.
Pontus, then I will let you go to your meeting. But thank you so much for joining me for round 2. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, it was great fun, and I think you are also in good hands, because the other guys are also quite well. They're skilled in chess and they're also quite funny.
Absolutely, I look forward to
We
it.
have a session with Dirty Harry tonight, and he's
Yes.
always he's ask him about his nickname, Dirty Harry.
I will. Pontus, thank you so very much. Have a lovely day.
Perfect, the same, and enjoy the rest of the games
Thank
in the
you
evening.
so much. I will call my other helper, my on-site helper, to help me look at the end of the round. Thank you, Pontus, and have a nice day.
You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll see if Alex is available to help us look at the end of this endgame. Let me quickly see if... Can you join us for the end of the round? So anyway, I think there's only 3 games still going. 3 games are still going in the top 10. Thank you, Maripant, by the way. I think she changed the command. So what is still going? Let me show you guys quickly the updated results. So only 2 games are still going. This one that we were looking at a second ago and Nilsson. But Nilsson is gonna, that's this one, which has now also changed a bit, but Pontus thought it was winning and it should be winning. I think this king is just too weak. But then the one that we are waiting on, of course, is this one. This one here, where white... We'll check this line again, I think, when Alex joins us in a second. But look, taking the rook did look very convincing. And as we said, we're not quite sure if he didn't take the rook, then what else? What do people in the chat think? What are your predictions? What are your predictions for this game? Is white going to find a way to break through, or is black going to hold? What do people think? The time situation is still, I mean, these players are, I don't think they are getting so much additional time. There is a 30-second increment, of course. But I think they're investing a lot of time to make sure that every move, make sure it's not a blunder. And I wonder if white can, I guess white should go back for this, what we saw earlier, because I don't know what the queen is doing here. So the queen is going to b2, hitting the pawn on e5. And I guess the king is going to drop back. And indeed, there is now a poll, so you can vote in the chat. Will black hold? Yes, no, or I'm not sure. I'm starting to think that black is going to hold. So far, 1 vote each. What's it gonna be? We'll see. So the king is going back. How can I even set up this position again? Ellen! Well, actually, funnily enough, Ellen, we were looking at this earlier, but we thought, but now it's a different position, because earlier somehow, what's going on? Has this been played? No, it hasn't been played. So Pontus and I were just looking at this, but the king was elsewhere. So let's see. So what is this? I'm hoping, this is tough for me on my own to figure out. He didn't go for it. He went queen a1. But can we figure out what was this? Let me promote this line. I'm streaming from Hamburg, so I'm commentating remotely. So rook b8 was earlier, but now can we start with c6? But I'm not sure. I think it's not... Yeah, it just doesn't work. It was very close to working, but not quite. So king f8 has been played. We're turning around in circuits, but now, okay, so there's still c5 was only pushed on move 70. So we're still very far from a draw. But it means that now white is sort of out of pawn pressure. So white has 40 moves. 40 moves to find a breakthrough. The way that Pontus and I suggested is to somehow find a way to give up the queen for the rook, which was possible earlier. Ellen, by the way, tell us. So Ellen is playing in the tournament. How are things in Uppsala? And congratulations, yesterday she held the second seed, Young Mincio, to a draw. Then today I think it was quite a short draw, right, Ellen? And let me update. I guess this is the only game that is still going. So okay, we'll come back to the game. Quick look at the results. So a huge upset on board 1 where Victoria Radeva beat Felix Blueberger. And then a lot of decisive results. Was there any more? This was a small upset. Jakob Kusa beating Richard Stalmach. That was that crazy game. Sim van Del was not punished for playing 1 a4. He won his game. Hampus Sørensen won his game. And of course here is Ellen drawing against Anna-Marie Mütsch from Germany. So okay, so this is the last game that is still ongoing. She went for the French exchange and it was hard to create anything. So this is our last game of the second round. And Alex, do you think white is going to manage? Let's ask Alex his opinion about earlier in the game. Was it here? So here we thought that white can have taken probably. What is your verdict? That this should just be quite a straightforward
nice
win, no?
Looks like it to me, yeah.
But Pontus had already figured out, so they've been playing this position here. Oops. They've been playing this forever. This kind of black is trying to have a fortress. And already here from the very start, Pontus had said, okay, just bring the king to, pick up the pawn, which white did. And then bring the king somewhere here. And then give up the queen. And black is gonna be in Subton. Like, you're not gonna be able to avoid, especially if the queen will come to f6 somehow. So already here, Pontus had predicted this everything. So it took a while, but then eventually the king gets to a7.
And wait a second. So if you go back, when he went king d6, it was because if you take on e4, there's queen takes e6. Okay, nice.
Yeah. And this pawn is gonna be a runner.
But
so
maybe bishop d5 here was a nice defense.
Where?
There instead of bishop takes e4. Exactly where we were. So king d6 on move 61. Instead of bishop takes e4, bishop d5 maybe.
Oh. But I can go back, yeah?
Yeah, but to prevent the king
Yeah.
from making forward advance, because now if you go king a7, then I take on c4, and I think this is a lot safer of a construction, because there's no I give you b7, but now you cannot zugzwang me.
Yeah, nice. So let's stick with let's see, because so basically the question is if white didn't take the rook once. So if you didn't see that idea, what can possibly...
Well, the thing about these spots is sometimes you don't see it in the beginning, but then desperation helps you find it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, okay, what to do. But black seems to not want to give this second chance, because we see king g7 here. And now white... Okay, so now is king a7.
King a7.
And what if I just go king h7? The problem is queen f8. That's the zugzwang. Yeah, nice spot from Mr. Pontus.
So king a7. But do you have a move now?
Nope.
So you have to go rook e8. Okay, so here is probably... And rook e8 and we take again. Huh?
Yeah.
So this is a big spot here. 20 seconds for white. King A7 looks like it's just winning, no?
Yeah, maybe also King C7, but King A7 looks the cleanest. I don't know.
6 seconds. What's it gonna be? King A7 is on the board.
Yeah, now it's...
I think after Rook E8 he will now take it. I mean, what else? He's gone in circles already so many times.
Also, there is basically no risk for white.
Yeah.
Rook E8, you take on E8, takes, king takes B7, F6, something like that. And to be honest, you could just go C6 and ignore it. And I think that's probably the simplest thing. Queen. Well, actually, maybe this is... You should get there, but G4 takes, king F6, king B7, G5.
With your guess.
Hello. Yeah. That's really weird.
Should I?
Yeah, maybe. Hello.
I know.
And it looks like black is going to be a few too many tempi short.
Can you do it? Let's just see. It's always very confusing here when an order arrives, but Queen A7, King A7, and black is still thinking here. But as Alex just said, it must not be enough. But the problem is there is no. I think black probably realizes. But what was played? F5. F5 was played. Alex is getting some practical German lessons in with the delivery guys. But F5 takes. But now the king is suddenly weak, I guess. How do you even recapture? Black is under 2 minutes, white under 1 minute.
It's for you.
Thank you. So black did not play Rook E8. Instead he went F5. I guess black saw then after Rook E8. Queen takes his lights out and he went for F5, G takes and King F7. But now surely...
It's smart from black, but yeah, somehow feels like there should be a win here. But how?
It's funny, Pontus and I, we had almost made like Queen B7 work in some lines, but not anymore, but earlier. But I don't know.
I like this Queen B8 because what white is saying is you cannot take my pawn on F6 without losing on E5 your pawn. No. Rook takes F6, Queen takes E5, you lose this pawn, but then again actually no, Rook takes F3.
But he played my move, why did you say no?
Because I think that this loses, but I think Rook takes F6 was maybe holding. Queen takes E5 and Rook takes F3, and this is looking really good, or at least maybe not really good, but really like the best chance. But I think what white did, King takes F6. Now there is. And now Queen F's. No. Nah, what do I know? To be honest, this is
a mess.
This is a total mess. Maybe this is actually the best. I thought his idea was Queen F7 here. Queen F7, yeah. And I had completely overlooked. I thought Rook F6 was the only way, and then Queen E7, and I thought, okay, this is just a pourrible Zugzwang. And that's what I thought white had in mind, but this is not the case at all, because black could go Rook E8 instead of this very bad move suggestion of Rook F6. So Rook E8 here, and I guess that this is just fine for black. So
This endgame is so tough. So queen d8.
yeah, so I don't know about this whole idea from white. After all, this move queen b8, I thought it was just like a smart move, but maybe white just doesn't have anything great. Maybe it's just really smart from black to play like this. I feel that if you were to check it with a computer, that somehow you would see some winning path, but black seems to be avoiding Zugzwang. Where would you go with the king now?
So you went to h6. I was wondering, could I go forward, but it's probably too dangerous. But now what? Okay, where's... Okay, this was on the board.
Yeah, certainly going forward does not seem so crazy, but I think white just figures, or black just figures, let me... If I see a draw, I'll take it. I don't need to risk.
But white, I guess, will still try, but...
But I think you know, it might just be too little too late. Although, one thing that I wonder here is, could you really try to annoy black with a move like queen c8 or queen g8, something like this?
The thing is as well, if you can't, like, if you suddenly drop...
Yeah, but so queen h8, king here, and now queen h3.
No, queen d8, says Lani.
Yes, queen d8 from Lali, yes, absolutely. Mr. Lali,
That's just
sharp
game
as
over.
always. Yeah, that looks game over.
So white played queen g8 here. Yeah, which was another of your suggested moves.
And now I guess after rook e8, queen f7, king g5.
Can we not again take?
Sorry, after rook e8, maybe you just take immediately then. Because
But does it
otherwise,
work?
well, if this doesn't work, the other one won't, because this is the same position but with an extra tempo. But yeah.
No, but here...
No, you're not gonna get there.
Am I not... Is black not even winning suddenly? Huh? Black
That's
is
just a
winning,
draw.
yeah? No. It's not, how can this be a draw? This is a draw.
Well, the king could have been on b5.
But even so.
Yeah.
Even if
it's-
the king was on b5, I would go
even this
here and
position-
take.
Even this position, if you take the pawn, I think is a draw.
Okay,
I
but you're
don't-
gonna suffer a long time.
Well, I won't actually. I'm not even playing the game, so it's all good. I'm pretty casual actually, but.
So rook e8 is on the board. No, but he will not take. I mean, he had the chance to take twice in better conditions.
Yeah. If he takes now and loses the game, I think that this is it. This is it for.
The end of his
For a
career.
can.
Yeah. Okay, so what else? b5 is b5 never an option? I don't know in which line. I went to...
b5 is cute if white takes the pawn, and then you get this beautiful checkmate.
Wait,
But-
in which line can you show it?
Yeah, so let's say instead of king g7, if black plays b5 here, and white greedily en passant, but this is effective in bullet, but maybe in an over the board game, a bit too risky.
So the queen dropped back to h2. And this game is basically just gonna go on forever, yeah?
Well, it's not an enviable task for Black because he has to constantly watch out for these pins and stuff, but he seems to be doing a great job so far. But White can continue to maybe try and annoy. There's some f4 break. I definitely think like the game could go on for quite some time, yeah. One thing that White could now try for is like, let's say play a move like Queen H4. Okay, so Queen H4 play.
Your wishes.
And then, so what do you do here as Black? Let's say a lot of people might do Rook E8 here. Would you agree? Yeah. There you go. And now, the new idea that White has is to bring his king to the center. So King D6.
Bring the king back all the way.
Back into the center, absolutely.
Oh, he played it.
King B6.
King
and now,
B6
if
played.
Black goes Rook E6, King C7, Rook E8, and King D6. And this is actually very annoying.
Yeah.
Now B7 is no longer under fire, so you can start shuffling your bishop. Bishop B5. But one thing that White will have in these positions that I think will be a huge problem for Black is the E-pawn. White will get in F4. So let's say here, it could be a bit more precise some other time, but let's say here. Now pawn takes, and now E5.
Alright.
The pawn for now is not dangerous.
But I can even take, no? Or is there a problem?
I would prefer to avoid Rook D8 check.
Okay.
And White has Queen F6 coming in.
Uh-huh.
Now Black would then have to do something like maybe Bishop C4 or something like that to try to control the squares.
So let's go back. Rook E6 was not played. He played King F7, Queen H7, King F6, and Queen C7.
But I wonder, was there anything wrong with, in this position, going for this King C7? I think the idea, very nice from Black actually, very nice defense. So Black's idea, I think he spotted this plan and he's planning Rook E7, King D6, Rook E6. And now we see the usefulness of the king on F7, supporting the rook on E6. So really, I don't know Ludwig Carlsson's strength. I don't know what his rating is, but he seems to be pretty damn strong. Okay, 2281.
I'm so blind.
Which
board are they? Third board,
I think,
yeah.
Okay, so he is...
There's a 100, so White is 100 points higher right there.
Yeah, but in this endgame, it really feels like Ludwig has had the tougher job of it, but has really done great. And now he's threatening bishop takes e4, which is probably going to force the king back to a7, which is an achievement from Black. Because if you go king c7, there comes again rook e7.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good play. And these guys don't want you to have your lunch.
No, I know. Actually, what I might do is I might just leave the... let me see. So what I might do is I might leave the stream on. I have something coming up very shortly, but I will leave the game on the stream live, and you guys can still discuss it in the chat and all that. But I think we've just arrived on move 100, but I think this game is gonna go on for a while longer still. So I'm gonna call it a day, but as I say, I will just remove my camera basically, and I will try to, let me see, I'll try and make the board, can I make the board bigger or do you guys see it fine? So I'm gonna sign out, but this has been a very interesting end game. I will be back later for round 3. I will be back at 6 p.m. So that's 3.5 hours for now. with Grandmaster Harry Schüssler. We've commentated together at the Wilton Cup before, so I'm really, really looking forward to that. And for now, what I will do is I will try and make this a little bit bigger and leave this for you guys here in the middle. And thank you so much for watching. I will leave the stream running until this game is over, and I will be back later. And as I say, you guys can, and don't forget to mute. No, I will not forget that. It would be quite bad. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you later this afternoon. Bye bye. Okay, I'll unmute for 1 second. I was still hovering around. Thank you so very much to the anonymous gifter for the 5 gifted subs. I go away and then this happens, but thank you very, very much. Really appreciate it. And I'm back. I'm off now, but I'll be back in 3 hours and 20 minutes. Thank you, Mr. Anonymous.